Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome to another Lessons in Violence, the series where I show you guys some short lessons on how to improve your metal techniques, songwriting ability, and theory knowledge. So today we're going to be looking at my favourite scale of all time, the Phrygian Dominant scale. Now we're going to be looking at this scale over 3 octaves, starting from the lowest note, the open E. Now I'm in D standard today, which is D, G, C, F, A, D. But I'm going to be referring to all the notes as if we were in standard tuning, just for the theory side of things to make things a bit easier. So we're going to learn the scale diagonally across the fretboard up 3 octaves today, and then I'll go to drop C tuning to show you guys how to transpose the same 3 octave scale in a drop tuning as well. So let's start by showing you the scale up and down first. So this is one of my favourite scales because of that Egyptian-y, Middle Eastern-y sort of sound that you hear from bands like Nile and Psychroptic and bands like that. A lot of death metal bands seem to utilise this. And it's great for writing riffs and doing leads as well, and we'll cover some of those techniques that you can use this scale for later on. So the Phrygian Dominant scale is actually a mode derived from the harmonic minor scale. It's the 5th mode of harmonic minor. So let's say we're in A harmonic minor. A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp. What makes that a harmonic minor is it's raised 7th, the G to a G sharp. So that sharp 7 is the only difference from a natural minor. Now if we take the 5th note of that A harmonic minor, which is E, and if we play the same grouping of notes in an inversion or a mode starting from E, we get the Phrygian Dominant scale or mode. So let's learn the scale first. We're going to go string at a time, go all the way up, and then all the way back down. So let's start from the E string. We've got 0, 1, 4, 5, 7, 8. And notice how I move my first finger from 1 across to 4 to give me room to play the rest of those notes. On the A string, we have 5, 7, and 8. Then the D string, 6, 7, 9, 10. So let's see what that sounds like, the first 3 strings. Now notice how my pinky finger's doing a lot of sliding across those semitones for going up. And when we're going back in reverse, the first finger's going to take that job for sliding back. So on the G string we have 7, 9, and 10. The B string we have 9, 10, 12, 13. And the final string, the high E, we have 10, 12, and 13. So those last 3 strings. And if you notice, we've gone up 3 octaves. We've gone from, there's our first octave, our second, and our third. So we've covered pretty much the entire range. So all together up and back now. Now you notice my first finger, as I was descending, my first finger took the job of the pinky going up and sliding back those notes when needed. And that's the most comfortable way to fly across the fretboard with it. So I'll put the tab for the scale up on the screen for a few seconds now. So pause the video, learn it, learn the finger positions of what's comfortable for you, and then you can try some of these techniques I'll show you. So some techniques we can use this scale for. Firstly is just sort of fast, shreddy, alternate picking stuff. Sounds awesome for that kind of stuff. On the flip side, you can do the same thing but with legato. That sounds awesome too. And this scale lends itself really well to semitone bends. So anytime you have a semitone in that scale, perfect opportunity for a nice big bend. I love those semitone bends in this scale, just so musical. Now, as you know, there's tons of ways to play the same scale, different finger patterns and positions, but this pattern lends itself mostly, I think, to playing cool riffs with it because of all those notes on the top string. Plenty of options for power chords, octave chords, trem pick and stuff. So I'll have a play around with some improv riffs with the scale, and you can hopefully take some ideas from it to use yourself. Or tramping and stuff works well too. See, I just love the sound of that scale, and it's one of my favorites that I use all the time in my personal songwriting and improv stuff as well. So now I'm going to go down to drop C, and it's really easy to transpose this scale into a drop tuning. All we do is move everything from the A string down 2 frets. The E string stays the same. From A string down, move it all back 2 frets. So I'll give you an example of that. Alright, so we're in drop C now. Now remember, this works in any drop tuning, just like the other way works in any sort of standard tuning. So we're going to keep that top string the same. But instead of 5, 7, 8, we're going to go 3, 5, 6. Exact same scale, everything from the A string moved down 2 frets. And that's a really good way to approach drop tuning. Learn all your scales and positions in standard tuning. Everything from the A string down, drop it back 2 frets. Really useful. Alright, some examples of Phrygian Dominant in drop C to finish up. So thanks for checking out Lessons in Violence today, guys. Make sure you go back and check out my other episodes or some of my playthroughs on my channel. Give me a like, a comment, click subscribe if you like my content, and I'll see you next time. Peace.